Hi, everybody. Welcome to AITA Pod. I'm Danny Vega, joined by the inimitable Shano D.
That's me.
Folks, AITA for telling my boyfriend to stop eating so much. During my 28M undergrad years, 10 years ago, my parents paid for my grocery bills because they really believe that good food is important to a student's health. They never set a monthly limit to how much I could spend, but I was frugal and never went over a $200 limit I imposed on myself. Now I'm back in grad school for my master's, and my parents, well, they're covering again. I know I'm an adult with a few years of work under my belt, but not having to worry about groceries lets me chip at rent and loans and other bills without losing sleep. I'm back on my extremely frugal way of eating and meal planning because I'm still not going to take advantage of my parents' generosity. I spend about $300 to $400 on groceries each month. That's impressive for nowadays. Sorry.
Oh.
My 27M boyfriend, however, inhales all my food, like eating all my snacks and every frozen meal, meat. One time he even ate the other half of a cheese I had already bit into. So he's basically wolfing down my dinner and lunch. It forced me to open my own wallet to accommodate him. I'm not going to send my parents a huge grocery bill. He's seriously messing up my finances. I plan basically down to the dollar. We got into arguments, and his side is that my parents are going to cover anyway, so I need to stop spending my own money and not worry. And when I go over to his house, I eat his food too, but I don't eat as much as he does. My arguments are just because my parents are covering doesn't mean he can eat anything he wants. He eats my whole fridge. I'm not even joking. The only things he leaves are the vegetables. And he could eat less. When we go out, he often has leftovers, so I eat everything at my place. I ban him from cooking and using the raw ingredients at my place, and I'm only giving him my small stash of snacks when he comes over. And after the third time, he's not talking to me. Honestly, this is such a stupid fight, but AITA, then I'll apologize.
I always find it interesting when people are okay with spending other people's money willy-nilly. Like for me, I would feel the opposite, the same as OP does, like not wanting to take advantage of people's generosity or being more conscious if someone else is paying. Like, I know if I go out to eat and someone's picking up the bill, I like to suss out what everyone else is getting. And then I try and choose something that's like around the same dollar amount. Right. Because I don't ever want to make it seem like you're paying? Throw in the lobster there real quick. Like, here's another dessert, like 3 more sides. I try and be more conscious of that. And I think that's the polite and respectful thing to do. But like this boyfriend just is like, well, who cares? Your parents are paying anyway.
Yeah, to me, that's like, what is that your business? It's her food, bro.
Well, they're 2 guys.
Oh.
I know. Actually, we have an update, and I won't read the whole thing, but he does say, first off, I'm a guy. Jesus, I've gotten like at least 5 DMs from sleazy dudes telling me that they'll treat me better and calling me weird pet names. I had one guy say, hey, baby girl, which just made me laugh. And all their profiles are gross and misogynistic. Being woman sounds exhausting. Shout out to all you ladies. But yeah, I'm a gay dude.
Well, I am so embarrassed for my heteronormative bullshit.
Honestly, I did the same thing when I was reading until I saw that update.
Well, because also, like, he says he eats less. So
right.
I
it
guess
is
I
more
went
typical
that
a guy.
And that's also sexism because dimorphism is not the law. Okay. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. There's nothing here that's specific to that at all. It's that this is his fucking food, bro. And you're coming in Kirby style, inhaling, and I did have to say,
God.
I see myself in the boyfriend,
Kirby.
Shanna. Why? Because, your boy struggles with the old vegetables. They just don't really interest me.
Leaving the veggies.
Too expensive. They suffer from shrinkage. I can't be risking vegetable purchases.
You got to get the frozen ones.
Like what? Frozen what?
Like frozen broccoli, frozen peas, frozen spinach, and then you can throw it in your quinoa.
Okay, that's smart.
Because I've honestly been doing that more lately because it's really fucking annoying having to chop up veggies.
It's so annoying.
Something about it is such a chore, and now I just go in my freezer, pop it in the quinoa.
Okay. I kind of tell myself that beans are vegetables, which...
Well, beans are good for you.
Yeah.
And they're protein.
Yeah, I know. They're not vegetables.
Yeah. Legumes.
Yeah, thank you. And Yeah, so where 300, let me just say 300 to 400 on groceries is straight up Dalai Lama status. That's really expert level.
I wasn't sure if you were saying that was a lot or a little.
That's so hard. I mean, I'm like trying to get to just grains. I eat a lot of grains.
yeah.
I eat a lot of legumes.
Yes.
And even then, but sometimes I do want a little bit of chicken, your eggs, your
meat
oat
is
milks.
insane.
It's really hard because that's $100 a week. That goes fast, boy. That's expert level.
I know. This week I've just been like, what's in my cabinets? Like I'm throwing together the weirdest meals because I just don't feel like I've just been like honestly more just like really eating soup with like these like old mac and cheese.
So
the cheese,
old.
no, literally
Fuck,
the cheese is expired out of these mac and cheese packets. So I've just been eating the noodles and like putting it in like literally a broth and peas. That's what I've been eating like all week.
Okay. Prison Camp Shannon over here. I know. She's in a fucking self-imposed gulag. Holy fuck.
Like I just don't feel like going to the grocery store and dropping like $150.
No, it's hard. It's hard. I mean, I'm going hard. Now I'm into really bland food. And I was telling my brother, I was like, I love a bland lentil, right? Because the green lentils, they're theater kids. They want this. It's all about them. The pink lentils.
Oh, like the orangey ones?
No. Yeah, the orangey ones are the ones I like because they're bland. They don't taste like anything. But the green lentils, that's going to dominate the flavor.
Oh.
Whereas you get a nice neutral lentil, you can put whatever you want in there. Sometimes I make them sweet. Sometimes I make them savory. Put some eggs in it. Anyway, this isn't my shitty cheap food podcast, though. I'm not opposed to that. I just feel like this comment actually hits it. 3-bag. This is more of a problem than him eating your food. He feels entitled to your food. He feels entitled to your parents' finances. He doesn't care that he leaves little for you. He hasn't apologized. He doesn't care about your feelings. He's a greedy a-hole. NTA. Entitlement.
Truly.
That's just textbook entitlement.
It really is. And to like, how can you have such little self-awareness? Or maybe he is aware and he doesn't give a fuck because clearly once the problem was addressed, he still was like, oh, you're a dick. But like how can you not realize that you're wiping the fridge out?
It's crazy. It's crazy to me. It's like, I don't know. I guess, I guess I would say, see, I would never go about it this way, but if someone, like if you were like in the neighborhood, I would gladly make you one of my shitty lentil meals. And you'd be like, do you really eat lentils plus protein powder this often? And I'm like, yeah, it's good.
Do you mix the protein in with the lentils?
Yeah, that's one of my combinations. I mix them with the grains.
Wait,
stuff.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because they're really bland.
Oh, and you make it like sweet. Is it almost like a oatmeal kind of vibe?
Yeah.
Like mushy?
It's mushy. A lot of mush.
This sounds
mush and
nasty.
Well, you're eating soup, so you're not that far away from mush, sister.
That's true.
Keep telling yourself what.
But I would like to try that if I come over on Monday to record.
With rice. Like rice with mush on top. That's a pretty standard format.
But then a sweet protein?
Well, that's pretty. Haven't you ever had Thai food?
Oh, and it makes it. I'm thinking
peanut,
like vanilla.
It's peanut buttery. No, it's not.
Oh,
vanilla.
okay. All right, you're forgiven.
Anyway, I think this is a lot of entitlement, and I think the title literal is doing disservice here. AITA for telling my boyfriend to stop eating so much. It's like, well, no, it's not that he's eating so much. It's that he's eating your food.
He's eating all your food. And this really does like, you're in grad school, you're working, you're hustling. Like this is also, even if it wasn't about the money, like put the money aside completely, then it's just adding more on your plate that you have to then go to the grocery store. You then have to meal plan. You have to then chop up the veggies.
It's his food.
Like it's your food. It's your livelihood. And then for him to come down on you with the hammer of like,
oh, it's your parents' money. It's your parents' money. Bro.
No, and I'm sorry, that's not okay.
What's the problem, bro? You're not even paying, bro.
It's like, dude.
Like, do you think that everyone's parents are just billionaires? Like, no, that's not how it works. And they're being like kind that they're helping you through grad school. But that doesn't just mean that they are limitless.
Yeah. I mean, even if the parents were well off, I would still be like, so that's none of your fucking business, dog.
Yeah, true.
Stay out of it. AITA for telling
Wait, should we finish the update?
Go ahead.
I didn't mention this, but I did cover part of my parents' mortgage when I was working after my bachelor's. Some people made comments about me leeching off my parents. I am right now, but I did help them too. Lots of people are telling me to dump them. Honestly, the spark wasn't there anymore for a while because we've been fighting over this and some other stuff for months. And a lot of people are telling me this is a respect issue more than a stupid fight like I thought. I'm going to think about how to approach this since he's just ignoring me now. But yeah, I think letting this relationship go might be the right move. I think I already knew this, but sometimes it's hard, even if you know it's the right thing to do, you know?
Yeah, I think people do that a lot. They'll be like, it's a stupid little fight. And I'm like, well, you deserve stupid little respect, honey. Like, I don't care what it is. Like, you know, that's one of my favorite classic AITA situations where a guy had a sticky hand stuck on the roof.
Oh, yeah.
He just thought it was
or on
cool.
the ceiling.
Yeah, on the ceiling. Sorry. Yeah, good. Wow, you know your home interiors. And his friend just swiped it down. He was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I didn't want you to do that. That's enough. It doesn't need to be a valuable thing. It doesn't need to be the crown jewels or the biggest diamond in the world. It's like, yeah, I wanted it that way. I deserve respect.
Like, he already had asked him. I just want to leave it up
Yeah,
there.
he said, don't mess with that. I love it. He's like really happy about it. He's like, it's been up there for years. I think it's hilarious.
And they weren't roommates, though.
No, they weren't roommates. It was a
Right.
friend who just came over.
Yeah, it's like, don't touch my shit.
Don't touch my shit. It doesn't matter. Like these stupid little fights. It's like, no, like you have a right to be respected. So where are we at?
Totally. I mean, definitely NTA. And the fact that he's ignoring you over this.
Childish, silent
Just keep
treatment.
ignoring me. Keep ignoring
thank
me.
you. Bye.
Bye.
AITA for telling my boyfriend to stop eating so much. We agree. NTA.
NTA.
Guys, please rate, review, subscribe. Join us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITA pod. Guys, seriously, I know you hear this part and you tune it out. No, but really, please join us on Patreon. It's
and also,
ad-free.
can you please give us good reviews?
Yeah, look, we're fixing the issues, guys. We're opening on the
We
stitches.
are. And can you, like, the people that love it, go in there and fight the good fight.
Yeah, go fight the good fight. Apparently, we need it. I told you not to read the reviews. It'll fuck with your mental
It
health.
really did this
do
past
that.
weekend.
Don't do it.
I know. It's my.
Anyway, guys, please rate positively the podcast. It's sounding so desperate. Please.
Get your mom, log onto her phone.
Please.
Log onto your grandma's phone.
Janet's eating soup and I'm eating lentils. Please, we need you.
I need you. We're struggling.
All right.
And join us on Patreon and follow on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And while you're at it, listen on Spotify.
There we go. Here's Shano.
AITA for taking my things back after my roommates refused to pitch in. This is a listener submission. My 19F. No. I 19F live with my one roommate and two suite mates in a college dorm. We all share a common area and the bathroom. Since the beginning of the school year, I have provided toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning supplies, soap, and trash bags. Recently, I realized that no one else was buying anything. So I asked if it would be okay if I just bought things and asked them to pay me back. All three of them agreed. This was okay for a month or so, till recently when I bought a Swiffer spray and Brita filters. This came out to only $5 a person. I texted our group and asked each person to Venmo me, but was met with a message from my roommate stating, respectfully, I do not use the Brita filter because I have a water bottle that does that. I responded, okay. This is when my other suite mate stepped in and said she did not want to pay the $5 either, since she did not ask for these things. I am not sure how else they expect the floors to be cleaned or the water to be drinkable. I stated that this was fine, but I would be taking all my things away from public use. This means my pads, my bath mats, my paper towels, my toilet paper, hand soap, cleaning supplies, and the goddamn Swiffer. AITA for taking everything away.
I actually love this. I think this
you
is
do?
such a parable. Yes.
Okay.
I think it's easy. When I first read this, I was big OP. But now I'm seeing it a little differently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because OP is kind of coming in like I have provided. And I understand that. But it's like one thing that you learn working at a company is you can't just be starting stuff because you're going to need other people's help. You're going to want other people's help. And you have to create something called buy-in. It's the same with you. Like if you had some radical idea for the pod, like something big, you know, it's probably going to take more. You can't just start doing it. You need to win me over. And I view this as a similar thing. It's sort of like when you're coming at people with this is just how people are. You're going to face resistance. They're going to make up excuses. That's just how people are.
Right.
They're also, especially young people. So they're not being mature, but they're all young people. So I just think the way to approach this is you want to create a situation that would really bind them a little harder. And that actually might have you adjust some of your purchases. Like some of these might be valid. For instance, the water bottle.
Right. Well, I think that you do have to maybe run these purchases by them
Exactly.
before going and doing it.
Exactly.
And obviously paper towels and toilet paper, like especially toilet paper, like that's a must.
Toilet paper, I will say, is one thing that doesn't need a discussion. Paper towels
Right.
we do not use in my home. I'm a rag boy.
Yeah, rag boy. And hand soap probably too. Bath mats, like, but you know, the like Swiffer spray and like a Brita Brita filters. Okay, so they already did have the Brita. I just think it
I've
would
never
be.
changed a Brita filter in my life.
You haven't?
No, they're fine. I feel like it still is fine.
Why do you think that?
I mean, I never noticed it.
Yeah, but it's not filtering anymore. So you're basically just putting tap water into your.
What, does a Brita filter stop working? It still works.
No, I think it does.
They're lying to you, Shannon. You don't need to change it. It's fine.
I mean, I will give you that they probably are doing it way earlier than it needs to because they want you to buy.
You ever change your filters? Or you guys have some fancy water thing here? It's
Yeah,
a Berkey,
we have a
Danny.
Berkey.
It's a Berkey.
Got it from my parents. It was like a hand-me-down. But yeah, I ended up changing those like last year. Sometimes you're supposed to. I changed them like every 2 years, I think. But I was starting to notice that, yeah, it was tasting more like tap.
Really?
Tap, yeah.
I'm not bothered by tap really. But I think the thing is though too, it's like even though it is true and obvious, and this is what I'm talking about, this buy-in thing, it just helps to explore things with people. And I know this is so mundane and boring, but like this resistance that people are doing, even though it is dickish and it's not being very considerate, a mature person would just be like, well, yeah, obviously we need a toilet paper. Thanks for taking the initiative and picking it up.
And also thanks for doing it.
Of course. But I'm just saying psychologically, even it could be the same thing at a workplace. And that's why I see the analog here is where, you know, you could be doing something that you know is effective, but because you didn't involve other people and get that key buy-in, you're just going to face unnecessary resistance. Not everybody is going to necessarily see things your way.
Yeah, I almost think like if it would be like if I all of a sudden was just like doing extra work and then like billing it to you without us like discussing that like, okay, this is what I'm going to be paid for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, or well, like let's just do it with what we actually did. We moved the situations to the front of the episode. Imagine you just did that and you didn't explain it to me or anything. It would be, and you are right, but it wouldn't matter. You would still face a lot more resistance. I'd be like, why didn't you bring this up and like try to bring me on board? It was just, even though you're right, it doesn't really matter that you're right. You still have to get people's buy-in. That's just kind of the nature of people.
And you're also then giving them the like kind of agency, thank you,
yeah.
to like make the decision as well.
Exactly. And it's just a little trick of humaning where like, you know, that one of them would be like, okay, oh, I have an idea. What if we replace the Brita filters? This could be a good time to figure out how often we're going to do that. Now, because it's their idea, they're just way more on board than when it was your idea.
And then I think that also gives the one roommate who's like, oh, well, by the way, like I do just use my own water bottle. I never use the Brita filter. And then it's like, okay, then the three of us can split it.
Exactly.
So I do think like being more upfront, even though she did ask originally, which I think was good, about saying like, hey, do you guys all be the one that takes the lead on this?
Yeah.
But can you help me out? But I do think like just going forward, it would probably be instead of her solution, which I totally understand, being resentful and pissed because like you're the one that is going out of your way to do what your roommates should be doing themselves to get basic household needs.
Right.
I completely understand the feeling of just being like, fine, then I'm taking my shit back. But I do think a better solution would just be like, okay, going forward, I'm going to run it by you, the things that I'm going to get. But there are going to be certain things like toilet paper, paper towels, hand soap, that it's a given. We need those things. And I'm taking it on. Like, that's annoying.
I agree. I'm just saying, if you're moving in with people, you're young, you know, a lot of people, and I think this is one of the comments here, Sezium writes, NTA, welcome to college life. Many are used to being taken care of and will be happy to let you do the same.
Yeah.
And that's the trap you're falling into. And like, you know, now, you know, Shan's about to turn 27. I'm 27 and, and don't do the math. And, you know, obviously I understand now these are all things. I mean, now, God, I had to move from New York to LA. So like, I know what it's like to start over. You think I shipped the fucking hand soap?
True.
Had to put it all back together. And it costs so much money. Oh my God. Moving costs $1 million.
Like even just the little things you don't even think
it all
about.
just adds up. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, now I need a bath mat. Do I really need a bath mat? So, and in a way too,
you do need a bath mat.
I do. I know. How do you know that? You
Well,
don't know
remember
that.
your,
You don't know that. Don't bring that up.
Your bathroom is flooded.
And no, the bathroom's wretched. I spray bleach on it, but it's still gross looking. That's my animal solution.
Yeah, just spray it on
all over
top.
the bathroom. Anyway, look, I'm an animal and I don't have any people that live with me, so no one needs to know. But bottom line, I think there could have been a better way for this to be approached.
On whose end? OP's?
OP.
Yeah.
But I'm not dinging.
No, and I also just like your roommates are so annoying to me because it's like, can't you just throw me $5 because I'm running these errands all the time? Like you can't even just on one scenario like just give me extra money. Like
I know, but Shano, some of this is like their opinion. Like I'll gladly drink sink water, and I've been poor enough where I gladly did drink sink water.
no, and I do definitely get that.
You know?
Oh yeah, I guess
It's really, what an American concept, sink water. Ugh.
I know. Although I do drink that like every day, like when I'm
fine.
washing my face or brushing my teeth.
It's fine.
One day I was like really paranoid. All of a sudden I was like, wait a minute. Are these all the problems I'm having is because I take a little sip of water every time I brush my teeth?
Yeah, that's why you have problems.
I know.
It's definitely
I was like trying to figure it out. Blame it on anything else but my own responsibility.
It's not your thing. It's the water. I'm
Yeah.
struggling to ding. I kind of feel like she went in, and some of this is valid and some of it is kind of debatable. Like, what's Swiffer spray? I don't even know what that is.
So
Swiffer
a
spray.
Swiffer like wet jet, I think was what she's talking about. It's like the mop version, and there's a refillable spray that goes in it. But to be totally honest, like that does just ring to me of somebody that's just like way more clean than the rest of the roommates. Like to them, they probably don't give a fuck or even think about the cleanliness of the floors because like they are in college.
Right.
They're probably drunk half the time. Like it's just a different world then. And like now I can definitely tell like when my floors are like getting sticky and stuff. Like I'm like, okay, it's time to like mop it up. But I think at that age I would probably be like, I probably would have the same attitude that you do about the like the filters still work, and then what do we need the Swiffer? What's a Swiffer? A Swiffer wet jet? Like what do we need that? Just put water on the ground. Like I would definitely be that way too. So I think your solution of just like running it by them from now on, and like throw it in the text thread. Hey girls, I'm gonna pick this up.
Yeah.
Is this something you need? If not, we'll divvy it up in whatever
So
way.
honestly, where am I at? I'm at no assholes here.
Yeah.
I feel like they're being annoying, but they're also that age.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, OP, you kind of did make a lot of assumptions. And also she's hiding behind a lot of things like cleaning supplies. I don't know what that means. Soap? Did you buy Dawn? Did you buy soft soap? Or did you buy a fucking $40 Aesop with those little granules? God, those granules really send it though. Some people know what I'm talking about. Ugh, those little hard little grains. It really just makes me feel so clean. Exfoliates. Ugh.
Exfoliation. Yeah. I think the other thing too is right. Like, how much are you guys agreeing on the types of products you're buying too? Like, are you aware? Are you shopping with them in mind? Like, are you getting the toilet paper that is the best deal, or are you know what I mean?
It's a little presumptuous.
Yeah. So I do feel like, have them do it themselves. Like, it's so freaking annoying.
The thing is,
I am annoyed for her. I'm definitely annoyed for her.
I feel her. No, she's right. I just don't know. She was kind of presumed. But that's the thing. I think you nailed it. People are going to be dirty in college. So I think we do agree that it is ultimately no assholes here.
Yeah, her roommates are bothering me, but
I'd rather live with you, OP, for what it's worth.
for sure.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. What's the first thing you'd do if you had an extra hour in your day? Would you maybe go for a run, take a nap, read a book? A lot of us spend time wishing we had, well, more time. And one way to kind of squeeze more out of life is to figure out your priorities, figure out what matters to you. Therapy can help you do that. You guys know I've benefited from therapy, and it helps you reflect. It helps you see things about yourself you might otherwise not. As my dad says, you can't smell your own stink. And I do believe that is true unless you really, really, really stink. So BetterHelp is great because it's simple, it's online, it's convenient, it's flexible, suited to your schedule. You can change therapists. I think that's very important. And if you visit betterhelp.com/AITA pod, you can get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/AITA pod. ITA for pronouncing names differently. I, 18F, work as a counselor at a local after-school program while I finished my senior year of high school. I recently had 2 little boys join my group. They're brothers, 7 and 9. They're sweet, goofy kids. They've adapted well to the program. They're also pale, blonde-haired, blue-eyed kids named Rocky and Bodhi. I am an Indian American who was raised speaking Hindi and English. I don't have an issue with their names, but their mom has an issue with me. She's white, is American, and doesn't speak Hindi, but she's very into spirituality, chakras, etc., and pronounces her son's names as Rocky and Bodhi.
No,
like
Bodhi.
Bodhi, like Cody.
Yeah.
So I said it wrong either. I guess it's Bodhi. I
Yes.
instinctively have been pronouncing them like they would be said in Hindi, Rocky and Bodhi, because it's my first language. Their mom has pulled me aside multiple times and told me off for mispronouncing her son's names, despite the fact that I've explained to her that it's how their names are correctly pronounced in the language they come from, which I have spoken from birth. She keeps saying I'm mocking them and is now threatening to take this to my program manager, who I'm pretty sure would take my side. But I don't want the boys to get kicked out. They haven't done anything wrong. I can't change my accent and they can't change their names, but I don't want to spend 3 more months dealing with this. AITA for pronouncing names differently. Ooh.
Okay, now I did look up like a YouTube how to pronounce those names. Would you mind if I played it?
I would mind. Don't play them, but you can say them.
Well, can I play it
Could
and
be
remember?
copyright issues. Oh.
No, it's not copyright. It's like Bodhi.
All right.
All right.
Well, yeah, go for it. Here we go. She's going.
Bodhi.
So it's like Bodhi.
Okay. That's
And
what I said.
then it seems to me it's more like the emphasis on the syllable
Bodhi.
is a little different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aki.
Rocky. So and then the mom is saying it like more strictly, like Rocky Bodhi.
Yeah,
Rocky
I
and
got it. I
Bodhi.
don't think we needed the YouTube videos.
Chill out. Jesus Christ. I'm helping here. Oh my God.
Okay.
I think that it was a little helpful. Good Lord.
So mad.
Forget it then. Cut it out.
No, we'll leave it. We'll leave it.
Okay. So the one thing that, because at first I wasn't quite realizing that OP was like referring to that it was like an accent thing. Like I almost felt like it was like, well, maybe you could try and say it like, I guess how she wants you to, but I think it's just like she's simply saying like, I mean, it's her accent.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
Well, that's what she says. I can't change my accent and they can't change their names.
Well, yeah. Well, OP could say it, and mom could say it. The thing is, it's like this is a reality is real for me. It's like those are names. They're Hindi names.
Mm-hmm.
They're not Rocky and Bodhi. Those aren't the names. You've decided that the names are pronounced a different way, which is the wrong way. So,
All right.
it's kind of like we live in Casa Grande, but we say Casa Grande.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about. Also, like there's certain towns here in LA for whatever reason we Americanize
Oh my God,
them.
it's so annoying.
Instead of Los Feliz, it's Los Feliz.
I can't even do it. I think I say it wrong.
San Pedro, we say San Pedro.
That's ridiculous.
And then Rodeo Drive, like.
Instead of.
Oh wait,
I don't know
that's
about that
right,
one.
isn't it?
I don't know.
Because in a
but
different
the Los
part,
Feliz one drives me crazy.
the Rodeo in a different part, they call it Rodeo Drive. As it further it goes down south to like further south,
Yeah, they
LA, they'll
switches
call it
it.
Rodeo Drive. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean these are people, and here's the thing. I'm kind of like, if the boys say call them whatever, then you respect that. But I'm like, get the fuck out of here, mom. Get the fuck out of here. That's what their names are said. They are not raising the issue. So why do you get to dictate what I call them? I have my own relationship with them. I happen to be Indian. They're Indian. So why don't you fuck the fuck off?
Well, who are you saying is Indian?
Are the
Well,
boys
OP
Indian?
is the boys aren't. No,
What do you mean?
the boys are.
They weren't adopted?
No, they're pale, blue-eyed, blonde-haired. The mom is like a spiritual, like yogi gal.
Oh.
Yeah. That just decided
that
to name.
doesn't change my feelings. I'm like, fuck you. That's clearly where you got the names. They didn't come out of thin air. Mm-hmm. Right? And that's how they're actually said. She got them. So she's freaking culturally appropriating Hindi. And then she's mad that you're not saying it her way. Well, you can't just
Right, when that's not the way you say the names.
Yeah.
And it's really just a different pronunciation. Like it's a different, as I was saying before, emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Right.
And this actually kind of reminds me a little bit of my name in a way, because in South Jersey, it's like kind of specific to like one region.
Yeah.
We say it with like a long A or a short A. I don't know what it is, but we say Shannon. Yeah. But everyone out west, and even like my dad's from upstate New York, they say Shannon instead of Shannon. And so my mom always says,
correction.
What's that?
I said this is the tiniest white person correction.
Well, and that's why I don't correct people.
Say it again.
Shannon.
Say them back to back.
Shannon.
Oh, damn. That's so small.
Yeah.
I would love if like someone just got really angry about that.
Yeah. It's like literally
It's so
West Coast
subtle.
people don't even know how to
Can't clock
say
it.
Shannon. You have to like make a weird face to do it. Shannon. So anyway, I don't notice that you don't say my name the way I say my name, but I notice it when my like East Coast friends, I have a couple of East Coast friends that moved out here, and all of a sudden they started calling me Shannon, and I'm like, that sounds so wrong coming out of your mouth because it doesn't sound like my name because you've always said it this other way. But my dad says Shannon, and I don't hear it.
This reminds me of our dear listener, Taylor, who says I say ketchup wrong. She's like, it's not ketchup, it's catch-up. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Catch-up, yeah.
Is it catch-up?
Well,
ketchup.
Ketchup.
Some people say ketchup.
Yeah, it's just
That's
a pronunciation.
crazy.
You're not saying
Ketchup.
it wrong.
Ketchup.
Well, you know what? One word that you say that a lot of people say that always kind of bothers me is forward. Forward.
Oh my God, I'm busy. I ain't got time to forward. I know, yeah, that's like, or people who say, instead of saying like, oh yeah, he's a white guy, they'll be like, he's a white guy. I'm like,
white.
okay, get the out of here, you mother. Like, what the fuck is that, bro?
Yeah, or huge. Like instead of huge, people
Huge.
drop the H.
That's just Trump.
Yeah,
Huge.
my dad does that too, though. But anyway, I don't really know that this is all. I mean, yeah, it's a region thing in a way. Like there are like forward must be like specific regions say forward. Where I grew up was forward. We say photographer.
Photographer is definitely a reach. I feel like you can't put in other new letters.
It's just me. But it's just so, it's almost like people coming over here and being like, it's croissant. It's croissant. Like you have to say it how we say
except
it.
it's wrong. Yeah, it'd be like if I went to France and was like, I almost said France. I went to France, I was like, it's croissant. That's what this is.
Yeah.
She's insisting he says it wrong. He's like, that's what it is. And I'm just like, you're overstepping your bounds, ma'am.
And it's not even that different. It's not even close to being different.
The narcissism of small differences. This is absurd.
And it's her accent. And it's from her. The names are from her.
No, and I already fuck her because she's one of these people who's like, I'm spiritual. She's like, my kids are unvaccinated. Now say their name right. They're sick. They're very sick. Say their names right. Mm-hmm. It's just like, get out of town, ma'am.
I know this mom is, and she's going to threaten to tell the program leader.
The program manager.
Especially because the OP's like, yo, they're going to be on my side.
Lil Kim writes, or whatever, I can't read their username, which is ironic because it's all about pronouncing names. YTA, because the person who decides how the names are pronounced is the one who named them. No, incorrect.
Wow.
False. I will determine my own name, and you will respect the fact that your children are not your pawns. And if the children had expressed to her that they didn't want to be called that, fine. But that is not what happened. That's 0% what happened. Instead, it's her dictating this thing that she has no business to fucking dictate.
I mean, it truly is like if my mom, all of a sudden, we moved out west and she started saying to everyone, it's Shannon. It's Shannon. You're saying it wrong.
It'd be like if your mom
That's
called
so
me.
obnoxious.
You need to say it differently.
Yeah, you've been saying on the podcast, Shannon. It's Shannon. No, my mom actually does get mad if ever because this is the thing.
Shannon.
People don't understand what I'm saying when I say Shannon.
Small.
They hear Janet.
Oh.
And
Shannon.
so when I'm on the West Coast, I do have to kind of change. If I don't want to have a whole conversation with somebody, I do have to be like, my name's Shannon. And so my mom has heard me say that sometime and she's like, oh God, oh, I can't hear it.
Oh my God.
But I get it because when I hear people who always grew up saying my name the way I say it, when I hear them say it, I'm like, ooh, that ain't right.
Yeah. No. We got the Princess Birdhide. NTA, as an Indian person, I would pronounce those words the way they're meant to be as I would words and names from other ethnicities. It's like someone naming their child Colonel and expecting it to pronounce Colonel. Sometimes things are objectively wrong. If you want to name your child Rocky, pronounce as such, then spell it that way. Da-da-da-da-da. People want to try to be unique at the expense of the others or just trying to make up for not having any original. See, she's gone a little too far for me, but whatever. I just think to me this is overstepping. Like you're trying to dictate how this person refers to your children. There's just no reason to do so. That to me is the sin here. I'm like, lady, butt out. This is not relevant to you. She's saying them how she wants to say them. The kids have no issue. Bye.
I think so too, especially if it's like not in doesn't come naturally, or I don't know. It
would also just go to completely get out of this. It would be like, what if I call a kid like by a nickname and the parents like, don't call him by a nickname. How about you go fuck yourself? I have a relationship. If you're in this capacity, a local after school program, it's like the people there have a relationship with your child. We're all independent human beings. You will not dictate the nicknames that are going to be thrown around if the child has no issue with it. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's a human. If he doesn't have an issue with it, then why is it your issue? You're budding around where you don't belong. So we agree.
Butt out.
We agree?
Yes.
NTA.
And
the mother is.
Oh yeah, I don't like her.
Guys, please rate, review, subscribe. Join us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITA pod. You're going to love all the awesome content with Shannon and Dani.
It's Shannon.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's really great. Over 200 bonus episodes, fun Discord, and yeah, it's a blast and a half, people. And yeah, ad-free episodes, every episode, ad-free, accurate timestamps. You'll love to see it. Here's Shannon. Take us out.
AITA for refusing to give my neighbor's kids my homemade cookies. I need some advice because now I feel like the neighborhood villain. I love to bake. Cookies are my specialty, and between experimenting with new flavors and perfecting old recipes takes up a lot of my free time. My friends and family rave about them, so I usually make big batches for holidays. My next door neighbors have 2 kids, and I guess word of my cookies got back to them. At first, it was cute. If I was outside and they saw me, they would ask sweetly if I had any extras. I didn't mind giving them 1 or 2, neighborhood friendliness. But lately, they've gotten bolder. They're always hanging around waiting to see if I bring out a plate. Then the other day, the mom knocked on my door and asked if I'd make cookies for the kids' birthday party. She explained that they were on a budget and how the kids just love my baking. The whole guilt-tripping bit. It caught me off guard. I mean, baking's my hobby, not a catering service. It takes time and ingredients I pay for. So I tried to politely say no, that I don't really bake for the events. So she did not take it well. Got this disappointed look on her face, then started saying that the kids would be so sad and I shouldn't have given them any cookies in the first place if I wasn't willing to do more. I stood my ground, but it got awkward. Now the whole family is giving me the stink eye whenever I'm outside. Did I really handle this wrong? I don't want to be mean, but I also don't have time to bake the whole neighborhood. Bake for the whole neighborhood. AITA.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we were talking a little bit about, boundaries versus rules. It's a constant topic. This is a boundary. It's saying I'm not going to spend my time doing this.
Or money.
No, what?
Or money.
Or money. And no is a complete sentence. The answer is no. Goodbye.
Well, especially because she's always giving them cookies anyway.
No, but she's bad. She's bad, according to this woman. Why would you give them cookies if you're not willing to do more? Because
That's insane.
That's insane. I'm an independent person and I wanted to do it and I don't want to do your thing. So why don't you fuck the fuck right off?
I know. I'm not here to be your baker. I'm not the neighborhood baker.
What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with you?
Entitled little lady.
Yeah.
MD Thomas, her lack of planning or budget is not your problem. She could parent her children and teach them how to manage expectations. That's fair.
Exactly.
The cookie lady don't want to make your cookies, kids. She doesn't. She makes cookies on her own schedule.
And I do understand, yeah, you're on a budget, but I think you could still offer to buy the ingredients. Ingredients might be just as expensive, but getting a birthday cake, I guess you could get a sheet cake for relatively cheap at a supermarket, but I don't know, to just throw it on that it's her responsibility to financially pay for it. What?
Financially pay. This sounds like a crypto bro trying to sell me on the latest crypto. Bro, it's going to enable financial payments.
Financial payment, bro.
No, but yeah, I see you. I mean, yeah, it's absurd. She could have countered with that, but either way, she could say, no, fuck you. I do it for fun. It doesn't matter. It's her right. It's her time. She's not a business. She's not advertising this. This is something that she does for fun. It'd be just as ridiculous as someone's like, you like podcasting, right? Will you do a podcast about my, about dentists? It's like, no, I'm not doing that. Why would I do that? That's right. I'm not doing it.
Or here, can you edit my podcast for me? Without any payment? Oh, you're so good, but you're so good at editing podcasts.
I know. Shannon does it all actually now. I don't do that shit.
No.
She's the video queen.
That's right. But I think I've talked about this before. I had a roommate that would do, not a roommate, a friend that would do things like that. He'd be he'd say to his roommates, oh, but you're so good at folding laundry, or oh, you're so good at doing the dishes. He'd try to butter them up to do things for him. And it would be bro, we see right fucking through you.
I'm usually not to teach people. If somebody are I need a help, will you show me how to use it? I'll show people, because it could take years to pick up all the little tricks of the trade.
Right. And I can also see if the kids weren't taking advantage of her this whole time, of say that wasn't the case, that they, the word got around that they made good cookies, and then the mom was can you make, I can see at one time being yeah, that's fine. That sounds fun. I'm happy to. But it's just the constant, you're taking away her agency again.
Very rude.
As we were talking about another situation of being able to be the one that is being helpful.
Yes.
Or doing them a favor. It takes away that good feeling that we get within ourselves of how it feels to help other people, because now you're feeling sucked dry.
Well, and also it's if the kids like the cookies so much, why are you here, ma'am? One of the kids asked me.
You think that would be better? I feel like that'd be almost more manipulative.
Oh,
Please, sir.
Well, but they're kids. If the kids like the cookies and the kid asks that, wouldn't you be much more open to that?
I do feel like it would be like, because it's for the birthday party, it's like a surprise or like, the birthday gift.
Yeah.
In a
the
way.
kid wouldn't think of it, but that's kind of my point, is that the mother is now like kind of conniving to solve her birthday problem, as this person pointed out. It's kind of like weird. It's a weird ass to begin with.
It is. It totally is, especially because she doesn't do this. She's not a catering service.
She's not a
and
cookie.
I just still think it's so unhinged to like not offer to buy the ingredients.
Yeah, that would be like, that's like a basic way to do this. So this woman's an asshole. There's no question in my mind. Are you aligned?
Yes.
AITA. Wow, that was a little rhyme. I'm like Dr. Seuss now. Did you catch that? That was
Yes,
kind of cool.
Beautiful.
That was kind of cool, guys.
It was beautiful.
That was special. A little rhyme.
NTI.
All right. Now we're gonna update, and then we're gonna do some banter.
Yeah, we've got an update from a listener submission.
Here we go.
So this one was AITA for blocking my BFF of 20 years. And I think we did go NTA, but the one thing I was saying was like, maybe don't block her because there's always an opportunity to reconcile, especially after 20 years. Basically what happened was OP became friends with a new woman.
Yes, and she got all jealous.
And then her
remember
best friend got really jealous, and like kind of the kids got involved too, when really like the underlying issue was that the best friend of 20 years like really got jealous that OP was going on a couples trip with the new flashier, cooler friend. I think was like the problem. And then she just stopped talking to her, the BFF of OP. So we were DMing, and she said, I wish I would have given more backstory because it would have given more depth to her insanity, but we're still not talking. We see each other almost daily in the neighborhood, and I see her watching my stories on Instagram, but no effort has been made. Honestly, I'm okay without the craziness, just miss the kids. Meaning her kids, because they were all very close. They both have kids around the same age.
Got it.
So I say hi when I can. But unless she makes more serious changes, I'll take it as it was the end of our season. It was toxic, and I had ignored it for quite some time. And with her actions since, it just shows me the kind of person she is. She ignores my kids to no end, and every chance I see hers, I hug them and tell them hi and I love them, have a good day. But for her, it's about my betrayal when all I was doing was making friends, because why can't you have more friends?
I agree with that. I don't know why I can't in particular, but I agree that people should get them. I think it's a powerful thing to have lots of friends. Yeah, this seems like a really sad thing. I think people can get in a bad place, and I feel like I read something that I hadn't, but just that, sometimes people can really get in some shit. I don't know where I picked that up, but just that she went through the divorce, and it was brutal for her. Like sometimes people will do that.
The BFF of OP. She had a divorce at one point, so I think she was particularly jealous that she had a new couple friend to be hanging out with, perhaps.
Yeah, and I guess where I was going is like I've been in some lows before where I have felt like maybe so afraid of people that I push them away. People who are trying to help. So I think that can be something to be aware of. I think OP has tried. It's a tough thing.
I think so too. And sometimes you just know like when to cut it off. And unless they make changes, it's not really worth having them in your life because they're being toxic.
Yeah. What do you do?
So I totally understand the blocking now for sure. And hopefully it works out because there's a lot of love with, you and the kids, and it's sad that she can't have the same respect for your children that you're having for hers. Because I'm sure it's confusing for your kids.
Yeah, it's messed up. Well, thanks for the update, OP. And
thank you so much.
Love to see it. All right, so now we're wrapping up with the banter in this weird reverse world, the new world, the exciting new world. I'm happy about it. Maybe we'll get more good reviews. So that was a compliment. Now this might make me the asshole. AITA.
Oh God, am I going to get my feelings hurt?
No.
Okay.
They wrote, yeah, I don't know about you. You guys are just too affluent. It's not relatable. And I was like, yes, we are rich, honey.
Affluent.
I was
Where are
like,
they getting that?
I know. I was like, was this a ski episode maybe? But then I was like,
maybe I was talking. I'm like, adjacent to it, but I'm not there.
we're both really good leeches, but we're not like ourselves actually.
Was I talking about my Prada top? Maybe.
I don't know. Oh yeah, that was a little bit unrelated. But I mean, I got the one wheel, so what can I really say?
I won it in Vegas, but I just posted a picture of it, and people were like, "Wait, was this the Prada top?"
I know,
And it's like a
Oh my
bra
God.
for $1,000. But it was free. Girl math, honey.
There you go, because you won $1,000 in Vegas, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Exactly.
Man. But yeah, no, we're. But thanks to the people who
thinking
do
that.
rate review. Thanks for finding us affluent, and that's a lot to me.
We love it.
I'm low key panicking. I mean, I'm okay, but it's not necessarily comfortable always. All right, Cabo. Okay, see, now we do sound affluent. Now that I think about it, I think it's your traveling that sets us up.
Oh shoot!
And I did go to Japan, so we've had some episodes where people will be like, okay,
honey. Okay, honey. Well, yes, I did just go to Cabo for my birthday. My birthday
for
is
her
tomorrow.
birthday. Let her have it.
Let me have it. And it was just super fun. We mostly were just like chilling, relaxing, having a great time.
Ooh.
And then one of the nights we went into town. And we went to Mango Deck. It's like the famous kind of like, where they do like the booty shaking contests and what have you. So we were just going like at the end of the
computer got aroused at that.
Yeah, he did. At the end of the day, like, because it's a day party place.
Okay.
So we went like in the late afternoon and there was a twerking contest and it was just super fun. We were basically like being tourists there, just like watching and filming because we partied there like a decade ago and it was really fun. And then we went to some bars and then we got tacos at this like just kind of family like local taco place. It wasn't like
This is in Mexico? Where's Cabo?
in Cabo, yeah.
It's in
Mexico, yeah.
Is it in like
The Baja
real
Peninsula.
Mexico? No, it's right there.
It's at the very tip of the Baja.
So it's
Peninsula.
like right by San Diego?
No, it's
it's
the
far.
tip, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's down.
I've never been there.
No, it's really pretty and it's fun. Like, and it's kind of trashy too. Like
It's a tourist
downtown
town,
Cabo.
though.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like a lot of resorts around
Got
the
it,
town, but then there's hotels in the town too. And it's spring break right now.
Oh,
so like all the
God.
college
This
kids
is my
were there.
nightmare.
But we only went in for like a
Sure.
night, so it was really fun. And we're in this tiny little taco shop, and all of a sudden, Max goes, "Wait, I think that's Cam," and it's his stepsister's boyfriend was there.
What are the chances?
And he's like a 21-year-old, and he was literally with 20 of his frat bros at the back of the thing. And we like turned around. I was like, "Oh my God!" I like made a whole scene, and everyone was like turning around, like, "What the fuck is happening?" I had no idea he was even in Cabo.
What are the chances?
So then we just like partied like frat boys for the rest of the night. I mean, we didn't make it past 11, but we partied with them for a few hours. It was really fun. Just
Nice.
reliving the college days a little bit.
Wow.
So it was a good time.
Well, I love that for you. I had a much more wholesome, non-decadent, sinful weekend.
Oh, did you eat a lot?
Non-sinful, I'm saying. You're the sinner. Is what I'm trying to
Okay.
say.
Gotcha.
No, my parents were here. My brother and I went to a stand-up show that I was on. We went to Abolish Everything. Shout out to Chandler Dean, who has been on the show. I paid him actually to write.
Chandler Dean.
Yeah, he's a humorist and a comedian.
Oh,
Very funny
cool.
man. Very brilliant man. And he ran the LA Marathon, actually. This guy's a motherfucker. He did the show. We did the show at 9. It started at 9.
And he was the host?
9:30. Yeah, he's the host. It's his show. And then he woke up at 7 and ran the LA goddamn marathon.
You're kidding.
Yes.
I feel like I would
I
want
was
to.
like,
What time was the
beast
show?
mode. The show was so late. It was like, I think it started at 9:30. We didn't get out of there until midnight.
Shit. Wait, now a humorist is someone that like writes articles, right?
Yeah. So I think what's distinct about, he's a speechwriter by profession.
Oh.
And he has been published many times in this publication called McSweeney's.
Oh,
For a while, it was my dream to be in McSweeney's. It's kind of like the New Yorker for humor. I don't know if it's as popular as it once was, but it's kind of like a, It's like, it's satire, you know, it's smarter comedy. It's
Right.
like The Onion level, just like, you know,
Yeah.
I think he's probably has some Onion headlines too.
That makes sense.
But anyway, it's a really fun show. Obviously, I was presenting. My brother was a panelist. So there's like judges, and it's kind of like a court case where you present your evidence. So
Yes.
I obviously said we should abolish Canadian geese.
Because they're
And
bad boys.
They're bad. They're bad.
And naughty
So
girls.
I photoshopped Canadian geese. I mean, I didn't Photoshop them. I found the real photographs of like a Canada goose at the JFK assassination.
Wait, no, there's not a real one. Or you put it in.
I didn't put it in. It's real.
Wait, really?
And, yeah, or the Tiananmen Square. There's a Canada goose there as well. And
Really?
the Hindenburg, there's a Canada goose. And there was no Photoshop, Shannon. None at all. God, she's so gullible, you guys.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was a really fun show. And then we did all, and we went to a Spotify event. Shout out to our Spotify. We love the Spotify on Thursday. So me and my brother actually saw a show every single day because we went to the Spotify event, which was like a sketch show. Friday stand-up.
Comedians.
Exactly. Saturday, abolish everything. But then Sunday, we went to a Venice Beach thing. I don't think I've talked about this. I mentioned to you before, called Chromasonic. And I think this is so cool. I will promote this event. It's a standing thing. It's called Chromasonic. If I told you what it was, it won't sound as interesting as it is, which is that it's colors and sounds, but it's super well done. It's only $35. And I was so excited because me and my friend went, and it was just such a vibe, and we loved it.
He felt like he was tripping on drugs.
It's honestly trippier than anything I've ever done. And anyway, the funny part was we got in the chromosomes. You lay down, you're like in this dome. I would say about maybe 15 to 30 seconds.
Oh,
My
he
dad
was
is asleep.
snoring.
My dad is snoring, asleep. And then my mom and brother started laughing. And at first I was like, ha 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 ha. Yes, very funny. But then like after 30 seconds, they're still laughing. And I was like, guys, can we please experience Chromasonic?
Yeah. Wait, were there other people there too?
No, thank God there weren't. I would feel
good,
so
good,
bad if
good.
my dad was snoring up their experience.
That's what I was thinking.
The girl is so good though. She's always been the girl whenever we go, like who brings you in, you know? She's just like, welcome to the She's like so quiet. You have to like lean. She's like, welcome to the Chromasonic experience. And it's going to be a special.
Oh, it's like ASMR.
Yeah, she's like really just gentle
Oh, I
about it. And
really
she doesn't
wanna go
break. Like we're all
then.
laughing like, do I have to keep our shoes on? And she's like, you can choose to have your shoes on or not during this experience.
I love that.
But,
I want to go now just for that.
Then we went back to Pasadena. We all napped now. All of us passed the freak out. And we went
Because your parents were staying in Pasadena?
Yeah, which is by my
Nice.
house.
It's beautiful.
And then we went to
there.
Porto's, which is like a Cuban. It's like a riff on Cuban food. It's like a pretty. They got their own thing, and it's like kind of the most longest line.
I was
going
gonna
to
say, isn't there a
Always. It's
huge long
crazy.
line?
Always
I've
so
never
long.
been.
So that was my fun little weekend.
That's so fun. Nice little family time.
It was good. It
Yeah.
was good.
Good. Family's important.
Now that the banter's at the end, it's like I get why people don't listen to it. It wasn't that. Actually, I did throw some juice. I did throw some juice on the Boneyard, so you guys can check that out about my stand-up show.
Oh, yes, he
Some of the
did.
characters were quite characters.
Yeah, our banter's better on Patreon because we share the tea, honey.
Guys, thanks for listening. Much love. Rate, review, subscribe, and we'll see you next time, okay?
Bye.
We're off today.